The legend. Across the outer rim, tales spread like solar fire about the mercenary known as Vorik the Unbroken, a creature born in war and tempered in death. He had fought on 7 worlds, slain beasts that devoured starships, and survived the collapse of a black market moon. In every bar, in every outpost, his name commanded respect and silence. But one night, on the refueling station Orthus 9, someone made a mistake of asking him about the one job he never took again. Vorik, a young bounty runner, said, leaning in, "Is it true you used to hunt Deathworlders?" "Humans." The conversation in the bar died instantly. The hum of engines, the clatter of cups, gone. Even the air recyclers seemed to hold their breath. Vorik's eyes, burning amber, slit like a predator's, lifted slowly from his glass. He didn't smile. He didn't growl. He just said, in a voice like ground metal, "I did, once, and I never will again." The first hunt. It had started, as most bad ideas do, with money. The Terran colonies had expanded into forbidden space, claiming a mining world rich with thorium and dark matter veins. The Scarati Syndicate, Vorik's employers, wanted them gone. Not captured, erased. They are just humans, the commander said. Soft, short-lived, fragile. Bring me proof you ended them. Vorik accepted the job. He'd heard of humans, primitive, unpredictable, overly emotional, but never faced one. To him, they were myths exaggerated by traders. He and his pack landed under the blood-orange sky of Keth-12, a world half jungle, half ruin. The air was thick with humidity and buzzing life. Perfect hunting ground. Within a day, they tracked a Terran outpost, only 5 of them, barely armed. Easy work, or so they thought. They found the base abandoned. No bodies, no heat signatures, no sign of struggle. Only a message scrawled in Terran standard on the steel wall. If you hunt us, remember, we hunt back. The second night, they didn't take it seriously. Not until the traps began. On the second night, one of Vorik's lieutenants disappeared while setting motion sensors. They found him hanging upside down from a tree, throat slit with surgical precision. His plasma rifle was gone. Vorik's instinct screamed. Whoever they were facing wasn't running. They were studying. He ordered full perimeter lockdown. But by dawn, another was gone. This time, no trace. By the third night, Vorik understood. The humans weren't prey. They were predators who decided to make him the quarry. The encounter. On the 4th day, it rained acid. Vorik's team huddled under bio tents, vision clouded by mist. That was when the human attacked. A single figure, camouflage armor, mud-smeared, face hidden behind cracked visor, burst from the fog. Not a shout, not a war cry, just motion, efficient, terrifying motion. 3 of his hunters fell before they even saw her. Vorik barely raised his plasma rifle before a blade slashed across his arm. They grappled. For the first time in years, he felt true fear. She moved like someone who'd been born in chaos and learned to dance with it. Every blow she gave was meant to kill, not impress. When he finally disarmed her, she didn't beg. She smiled through blood and said, "Run." Then she pulled the pin on her grenade. The aftermath. Vorik woke up hours later among the ashes. His armor was cracked, his fur scorched, and his squad gone. No human body. No trace. Only a single line burned into the sand with plasma fire. Next time, we start the hunt. He never reported success. Never returned to that planet. He told the Syndicate the humans were exterminated, but he knew one was still out there, and she had his scent. The warning. Back on Orthus 9, Vorik leaned back, eyes lost in memory. The young bounty runner swallowed, voice barely a whisper. So what happened after? Vorik's claws tapped the table. I left the Syndicate. Took solo contracts. I still fight, but not against humans. Why? Another mercenary asked, half mocking. You afraid of them? Vorik turned his gaze on him, slowly, deliberately, and the other fell silent. Afraid? Vorik rumbled. No, respectful. You can fight beasts, machines, or gods. But humans make war personal. They don't stop because the battle ends. They stop when the fear ends, and for them, it never does. He drained his glass, the liquid hissing against his throat plates. They don't fight for territory or orders or coin. They fight because survival is the only religion they ever truly believed in. The second warning. Someone at the bar scoffed. So what? They are just clever animals. Vorik smiled, an expression that looked wrong on his scarred face. Animals don't build ships to chase their predators into the void. He leaned forward, voice low enough that only those closest could hear. You think you hunted them because you've killed a few, but they'll remember. They'll adapt. Every defeat becomes a lesson. Every hunter becomes a teacher. And one day they'll come for you, not for revenge, but because they can't help it. His eyes gleamed like dying suns. That's what makes humans terrifying. They don't just survive. They learn, and they never forget who tried to end them. The flashback. The crowd was silent. Vorik rarely spoke this long. But as he talked, he saw the memory play out again. The rain, the fire, the woman's smile before the explosion. He remembered her last words. Run. He had, and he'd never stopped running since. In dreams, he still heard her footstep behind him, soft, steady, inevitable. The galaxy's greatest predator wasn't the one with claws or plasma cannons. It was the one who could look fear in the eye and walk toward it. The final truth. Vorik stood, towering over the others. His voice dropped to a growl. Listen to me, all of you. There are things in this galaxy you can hunt, and things you shouldn't. Humans belong to the second group. He pointed a claw toward the door. If you see one alone on a death world, turn around. If you hear laughter from the dark, run. And if a human ever tells you to stop hunting, listen. The young runner frowned. But what if the pay is good? Vorik's stare could have cut stone. No pay is worth being hunted by something that enjoys learning how you think. The departure. He threw a few credits on the table and walked toward the exit. The crowd parted wordlessly. Before stepping through the door, he looked back once more and said, almost gently, You can kill a human, but you'll never defeat one. Because the moment you do, another will appear, stronger, smarter, already knowing how you failed. Then he was gone, disappearing into the neon haze of the station corridors. The silence he left behind was heavier than any raw battle. The epilogue. Later, the bartender spoke softly, as if afraid the shadows might listen. You know why he says that? Because it's seen what they really are, someone replied. The bartender nodded. Deathworlders, born on a world that tried to kill them every day. They didn't just survive, they learned to thrive. And now, the rest of the galaxy is just another kind of wilderness. He looked out the viewport where the stars burn cold and eternal. The most fearsome mercenary in the galaxy fears one thing, and that should tell you everything. The rule of Deathworlders. Every spacer eventually learns it, whispered in a dozen tongues across 100 systems. Never hunt humans. Not because they are dangerous, because they are inevitable. And somewhere, light years away, on a blue-green world forgotten by most of the galaxy, a child looked up at the night sky and smiled.